Truth, really that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic, this truth be told. Only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready, keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know. Truth be told, let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Troof Be Told. I'm one of your hosts, Real Deal. I got my boy, the God Barber, and also Desiree. I'm excited about this episode. I don't know about you guys. Just as much as I'm excited about my car breaking down today. Just to be honest with you. I just got to start off by just saying this, man. Green, I told you, man, I had to Uber to the shop today.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I had to Uber. I called the Uber, talked to a little white lady, man, had a nice conversation, you know what I'm saying? That conversation cost me $24.
$24?
Yeah.
Oh.
I told Real called me. Real says, Green, man, I ain't go to work today.
Oh, man.
He said, man, I ain't had no ride. I said, what happened? He said, your car wouldn't start.
Well, I mean, that's not the end of it, Green, because guess what?
What happened?
I got a recommendation.
Uh-oh.
For a mobile mechanic. I didn't even know they had mobile mechanics, but evidently they in the newspaper.
Yep.
Or the yellow pages, wherever you look at them.
They don't got no yellow pages no more. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that out there. So they got Facebook, you know, all of those other type.
Well, I'm glad you're speaking up.
No. We're not going to do that. Wait.
I'm glad you're speaking up.
I'm glad you're speaking up.
Really?
Yeah, because I did get a recommendation about this mobile person, right? So I called the person. I'm up late last night trying to coordinate this man come to my house today, right? So he tells me, hey, I need this, and this. And he tells me, he has come out, I guess if you come out, you got to have a charge, right? And I get that part, but it was just so difficult to get him to send me a link so I could pay him. So eventually he just said, hey, you could do it by Cash Out. I hit him up by Cash Out, gave him his 35 hot bones. Immediately after that, the man blocked me. He actually told me he was outside in my front driveway. I walk out. I'm like, where you at? And he was like, block me. So pretty much, man, the man took my $35.
No, man.
He scammed me. So just, hey, truth be told, be careful who you deal with when you talk about soliciting business off what, Facebook? Off Facebook and all those things like that. And especially talking about paying them to come out. Yeah, man took my money, then, he lying. He blocked me. So Green, be careful, man. I know your car is not in good shape either. Don't call my guy.
My son already told me to order nothing off of Facebook.
Yeah.
He told me that a long time ago. I say, because you be seeing clothes and stuff on there, and the clothes be looking good.
Yeah.
I say, B, what about this? No, Dad, no. He said, you got to be careful with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
He's not saying everything on Facebook is bad. He say some of that stuff be bad, man.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff and some of them people.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Really, man, took your money?
Hey.
I mean, $35, I mean.
I'm okay with it. It's lesson learned.
I understand.
I know
some people might say, man, I ain't number $35, but it's the principle.
It's the principle behind it. That's the part. You know what I'm saying? It's $35. I'm good with $35. I would have spent that $35 some crazy way anyway.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. It just, dang, dog, you got me. You hurt my feelings. I really want my car to be fixed right now.
That's probably what it's more about. That car not being fixed than them $35. Because, could have made other arrangements.
I could have made other arrangements.
Golly, man, that's crazy, boy.
So, man, listen. So, just for, it is what it is. Hey, listen, if you out there, man, make sure you subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you guys. Make sure you hit that button because when you hit that button, Green.
Hit that button. Hit that ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Yes, sir.
That little bell, man. Hit that bell, baby.
And when you hit that bell, that means you won't miss any of our
But you know what some people be saying, they don't be, something be going on. They don't get
because they have their notifications turned off.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I have mine turned off. It's not like you can just get notifications for TBT stuff.
Okay.
And because I'm subscribed to and I like a lot of things on YouTube, it would give me notifications for everything. So mine are turned off. So that's why they're not getting it. It's not a personalized thing. It's general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Green.
What's up, Real?
Your cable off.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't talking about you ain't pay no bill. I ain't trying to say
Nah,
that.
man, they say that, I guess the storm knocked my cable off, man, the box.
Yeah.
It ain't lighting up.
Well, who you with? Who you service to?
Spectrum. So hopefully they'll take care of me, man.
Well, they need to, because
Yeah.
if not, we got a perfect guest. Baby. Huh?
Right now.
If
Yes,
your cable
sir.
ain't working,
Yes, sir.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's a different type of cable, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get you right.
Yeah, we get you
Yeah.
right. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We got the right
Yeah.
one tonight. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? Green, I don't know about you. I'm ready to get started.
But I'm ready, boy. I'm ready.
That's right. You ready?
I'm
Ready.
ready,
Let's
boy.
go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I am ready, man.
All right. Well, tonight, man, we got a real special one, man. I don't even know where to start, man. I think I'm gonna start right here. Our guest for tonight. He's a man of. Some people would say he's a man of little words, but I would say he's a man of many words. Depending on when you get him, when you meet him, and when you know what time you interact with this guy.
Yeah.
Great father, great husband. He's a person that was always. I know you went to school with you, Green, at Southeast, alumni of Southeast. Also attended the University of South Florida, where he graduated there from. Later on, I believe, I'm not too sure if you met your wife there or I know y'all both went to the same school, but definitely he's kind of married into the family a little bit.
Oh, he married into your family?
Yeah.
Oh, child.
Yeah.
I'm
Married
talking
to
about
the family, man.
Close family.
Yeah.
Close family.
Also, man, you know, his family, he has a huge family. A lot of his sisters, you may know them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know them, I don't know where you've been.
Right. Because you got to know them.
Personally. You
got to know them.
So, I would say it like this, man. He's the founder and the CEO of a company called Cablelytics. Cablelytics. The company now has been running for some time now. I can remember when I first heard about him getting started with this, he was also had a lawn service going on at the same time. But I think he's now gotten so big time, we had to leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm just proud that he's here. I'm proud that we're going to have this conversation today because I think if you tune in and you pay attention, I think anybody that is listening will learn something from his story. So I'm excited to introduce to you guys. Some of you guys may know him, some of you guys may not, but I'm proud to introduce the one and only Mr. Floyd Freeman to Troof Be Told.
Big Floyd, baby. Floyd Freeman in the house, baby. Floyd Freeman in the house.
Yes,
right
sir.
across the street from Averdale.
Right across the street.
Right down the road from Food Land.
Uh-huh.
Used to be known as Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Right around the corner from the country store. Right around the corner from Richard's Chicken.
Richard's Chicken.
That's where we grew up at.
Yes, yeah.
Where's that stuff at? Is that in where? So some people may not know. You know, we got people way in California paying attention. Green, they might not know where Richard Chicken and Piggly Wiggly and all that stuff. Where that's at, Floyd?
That's Martin Luther King. East side of Braden.
9th Avenue.
But boy, all right now.
9th Avenue.
Yeah.
Right.
See the folks say 9th Avenue.
The black
The hood
folk.
say Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Martin Luther King got fancy. He got a roundabout now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's big time.
Yeah.
Big time, boy.
By
Big
the,
time.
With the car wash.
Yeah.
Right. Then 15.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So how you doing, Floyd, man? How you doing, bro?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Great. Appreciate you guys having me. I would say, man, I'm proud of you guys for, proud of you guys what you're doing with the show.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are making impact on the community and everything like that. So I want to wish you guys continued success in what you guys are doing.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Hold on, real.
Yeah.
I got to say this, man.
Yeah.
But these all Southeast High School alumni up in here, baby.
Yeah, all day.
That's us here, baby.
Yeah. Let's get it
I
up.
keep telling these people, man, we don't just play football and basketball. We don't just do that.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait, boy. I can't wait, boy.
So, Floyd, let's take us back, man. Let's kind of go back a little bit to the days on Martin Luther King and Avondale and so forth. How was it, man, growing up in a house full of women, for starters?
That's a very good question. Man, it was challenging, right? For me, I had 2 younger sisters and then 2 older sisters, right? So my older sisters, they were, older, so I didn't have much to worry about. But then in terms of my younger sisters, it was, I call it a dog fight, right? So especially when they started growing up. So I was in the middle, so I kind of had that role in a sense of kind of protecting them and all of that. But there are a lot of different dynamics, as far as being the only boy. And my dad was a big part of just kind of keeping me, grounded in terms of being a man and all that. But then I also got a little side with, with being growing up with all girls. That kind of was a unique experience, I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, man. And it's so funny because see, it wasn't just girls. Like your sisters, they were athletes too. Like a lot of people knew your family for various different reasons. One, you just got a good family, But when it comes down to the girls playing, basketball and getting into sports and stuff like that, were you also involved in sports?
Yeah, I played basketball Southeast alongside, T. Green and, Cliff Rozier, God bless the dead, and Chris Ward, Elliott, all those guys, right? So I kind of, grew up, playing basketball. And then for me, with my sister, Tammy Freeman, was kind of interesting, right? So I kind of viewed basketball from a girl's perspective because I was always going to her games and Chantel Bullock and, all those girls, right? So that was my view of like, okay, wow, this is sports to me.
Right.
And that probably coincides with having all sisters, right? So,
yeah. And to see the thing is when, especially she's been older than you, right? All right. I mean, did she whip your butt, Floyd? I mean, did you give her? Did you take it to her, or did she take it to you?
But she took it to me. It was also so being the older sister. I was back in the day. My mom worked at Tropicana, so, right, for years. I want to say like 30 plus years, and she worked what you call a swing shift, right? So that was, I think it was like 7 to 4, and then you switch to 4 to or 8 to whatever, 8 to 4, 4 to 12, 12 to 8. So she was doing 2 or 3 weeks of that rotation. So you can imagine what that does to your body, constantly trying to adjust to that type of work schedule. So a lot of times she left my sister in charge, and so she gave Tammy the permission to. I don't know if I can curse on this.
Yeah, you could. Boy, we grown up in here, man.
I said she gave my sister permission to whoop ass. And we couldn't say nothing. I was like, Mama, Tammy did this. She said, that's what I told her to do. All right. So that was sister.
Big sister in
Yeah, so.
That got to be some, and that happens a lot. A lot of times the kids are, especially when mom is working in those type of hours, and the oldest is kind of left to take on that role. But how was it though? I mean, did you ever find yourself trying to be the man of the house though? And if you did, how did that play effect on you?
Yeah, more as I was kind of growing up, looking at, we all grew up poor, and there'd be times where, we never starved, right? But sometimes it's just a little short here and there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for me, I took on that role of just working, trying to provide a couple extra dollars, where I could. I will tell you this. We talked about sports and basketball. So a lot of times we would go and travel, and go out of town, go to St. Pete, places like that. And a lot of times I would see my mom. She, we go off to the games, and she didn't have no money. And I was like, Mom, you got $5? We're going to McDonald's between. And she would just look at me and say, I don't have it. So for me, I kind of took that role on, like, all right, I got to go out here and get my hustle on and do my thing. Yeah.
Right. Now, would you say when you were doing that, right? Try to you use the word you hustle. Would you say that maybe you felt that way because of what? Was Dad around? Did Dad help out, or how was that?
Yeah, my dad was around. He was not the. I'm gonna call him a sort of a rolling stone, right? But he was there, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of had both sides of it, right? So, but what I will say about my dad, and my sisters will attest to that, he was always there. Like he'd be there and not be there, if that makes any sense. But he was there. He make sure he was in our life, right? And so the one thing that always stood out to me was he always showed me, and I call it hustling, but now that I think about it, he would show me how to run a business. Since I was 7 years old, it was like, all right, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. From cutting yards to picking tomatoes to you name it, getting a jar of hot sausages and pickles and I would be just selling that kind of stuff. It kind of reminds me of one particular thing was pretty instrumental. Is he would take, y'all know like Ruskin where the packing houses are, the tomato fields and all that. Yeah. So my dad would have these box trucks, like U-Haul type trucks, and he'd take maybe 5-6 guys up to Ruskin. They run them up there, and so we would be in the tomato fields, and he'd take these boxes, and he'd give a $1 a box, right? So I went a couple times. He said, "Hey, you want to go make some money?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, sir." So I would go up on a Saturday, and it took forever to fill a tomato box up, especially when you're a kid. So these guys were probably making $60-$70 a day. So that means you filling up 70 boxes. And when you start thinking about that kind of work, that's some long hours.
Right.
And so I would do that, and I barely get a box, right? Maybe 2. I'm making $2. So then my dad would pay everybody. They go home. So then we'd leave, and then we go to the packing house. So me playing around, I'm just observing. And something just hit me one day. I heard the guy say, "Yeah, Mr. Freeman, those some nice tomatoes. I'll give you $11 to $12 a box." So I'm like, huh, interesting. So I ain't say nothing. Next week, my dad says, "Hey, you want to go again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go." So I picked one box, brought it to the truck. My dad had $1 in his hand. I said, "Hey, Dad, can I keep my keep my box?" He looked at me like, yeah, that's fine. So I put the box aside, and after that, I'm just throwing tomatoes at people, ducking, playing. So I get home, and I said, "Mom, do you have some brown paper bags?" Right? So she goes, "Okay, yeah, sure." So she buys, the little brown paper bags you get in the grocery store or whatever. So I would take 2 or 3 tomatoes and pack them in the bags, and I would go door to door selling tomatoes for $1 to $2 a bag. So I'm making I don't turn one box.
$1 box.
$30 to $60, depending on what I had in there.
Yeah.
Right. So my dad looked at me and said, "Boy, you're gonna be all right." So that was that's one little story about how he was instrumental in just showing me, from a business perspective.
That's so awesome. Crazy though. I was just listening to Floyd when he was saying, sometimes food be short in the house. food was hard to come by. Now, you know, me coming from the project, I come from just a single parent, just my mom and my brother. And we always said in the project, well, I'm going to say me. I always thought if your biological dad was in the house with you, you was rich. You was rich. And that stayed with me. Even when I moved to Avondale, and I used to go around the floor of them house, Mr. Freeman. Every time I went around there, Mr. Freeman was there. Mr. Freeman was there. The mom was there. So in my mind, I'm like, boy, I ain't never told Floyd them that. In my mind, like, boy, they got it going on, boy. Right. His dad here and his mom. Yeah. So I thought y'all was always kept food in the house. Just to hear you say, Green, man, food was hard to come by. So now that kind of like made me feel a little different. Just because your dad in the house, that don't mean you was rich. So we always felt that way. But see, now you saying, hey, Green, hey, man, but we had to hustle.
Yeah.
We had to hustle, man. And that's just, I don't know, man. Every time I came in your house, Mr. Freeman was there.
Yeah, and
I thought y'all had it going on, boy.
It's funny, I think, that's interesting you say that, right? I think we all kind of did that, right? Like when you're, I guess it's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's I used to think, like, I think about, like, Chris Ward, or Ellie Washington, his dad, like, man, they had a house over, man, that's right over there.
Yeah.
And and everybody got this story, right?
Yeah.
Louis Pryor, his dad was the mailman, so it's like, man, your dad is this, man, y'all the one got this.
Yeah.
So everybody always thinking, and when you hear the stories as they get growing, you're like, man, that wasn't. That wasn't all it was.
Yeah, man.
What it was.
It kind of reminds me too of we had a sense of community, and it's just amongst friends too, to just support each other, right? So like you're saying, like, oh, I thought this, I thought that, and it's plenty of times where I come to your house and your mom would have some spaghetti or something.
Yeah,
You might have thought we was good over there. I'm just happy to get you some
Yeah, man.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy though, man.
Even as you were saying, your dad, he was there, right? It makes me think about my dad. My dad, I grew up with just my mom basically, but my dad's presence was always felt, even though he wasn't physically in the house. But his presence, 24 hours a day, his presence was felt. Yeah. How was your relationship with your dad?
My relationship with my dad was, I would say overall good. When I was maybe younger, I probably didn't see certain things like, oh man, he's doing this and this and this, and he, I ain't gonna talk bad about him, but there's certain things like, man, he over there doing that. Junk, whatever. But as I got older, you can start to see, like, okay, I could. Number one, you see. To me, I always looked at like, there's no excuse, but it's also a history of what was happening, right, to men back in those early days. I'm talking,
40s,
50s, 60s, and what you had to kind of deal with on a basis where. You're out there trying to work, and then you got the man with his foot on your neck constantly, and then you coming home. So there's a lot of dynamics there that was, you had to deal with. And so as far as my relationship with my dad, he would share that with me and just break it down. Like, one thing about my dad, he was just always straight up on it. Going, this is what it is. And this is where I messed up at.
Yeah.
And then he'd tell me, don't do this, do this. If you see me messing up, don't do that. He made it very clear to me. And then you could just see it like, okay, see this? Don't do that. Do this, do that. And then it was just like, okay, don't do that.
Right.
So that's what kind of shaped me. And plus my mom, so there was like, they had the I guess I'm going to call it yin and yang, right? So my mom was more... At the time, my mom was super mean. I mean, like, to us anyway. And
it's always seemed that way.
She'd come home and just, but now I understand.
I understand, right.
You deserve to be mad. So, then you go, wow, that's very interesting. But when you're a kid,
you don't see that.
You may see a lot of turmoil, right? But then when you grow up, you're like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to my mom, she said, I wasn't like doing that. But what it was is she was, I just mentioned earlier, she was swing shift. So imagine
Yeah,
you
man.
swing shift,
Yeah.
you do this,
Yeah.
keep the, keep
It's
the
your
kids
house.
together, keep
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
You know, and I ain't gonna I
Yeah.
ain't talk too bad about my dad because he's a good person, but it's just what it was,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So she had a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's just
And I think I think your family is not the only one when it comes down to maybe your mom had a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us has experienced that at some point in our life, and if you have not, then hey, that's good. But there's some good that typically can come out of that stuff, right? Especially when we talk about all those nuggets that your dad and your mom were able to give to you. You were one person that I would say, you played sports, but you were definitely, I think you took education very seriously. You ended up going to University of South Florida. What did you go there for as far as majoring?
So I majored in electrical engineering, and I'll tell you, like, you kind of touched on sports for a second. So I remember I played football for 3 days. 3 days. Like, people say, man, I played football 3 days.
Why
So,
3 days?
3 days because my grades. Something happened with my grades.
Oh.
Miss Freeman,
Yeah.
take all these damn passes. she came with and I was, Mom, she was like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, man, she always doing this stupid. But she did not play by. She just
Did not play with that.
I don't care about no sports.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just like education. She was big on, we used to hang on the corner, like you talked about MLK, 9th Avenue. And she would, her thing was just go do something. I don't care. Ain't no hang around, right? So, I try to hang around a little bit here and there, like, and I knew, well, okay, she'll be getting off.
Gotta time
4
it right.
o'clock. So I try to be cool. Like, okay, about 3 o'clock. All right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm about to go holler at this girl or whatever. Man, but remember, when my mom saw me, she would do this. Or she'll give me a chance. So that's how it was there past. And she'd drive. She had an old gray Pinto. Right? So she would just drive by. She wouldn't even look. She'd go, point. That means get home. Get home.
Yes, sir.
So I'm like, oh, Lord. And then I thought, she gonna beat me? She said, son, I don't want you out there like that. You need to be doing something. See, I don't care if you go to the park, play basketball, go to your friend's house. Just don't sit there. And I can tell you, not to call nobody's name out, but I would say about every last one of those people that was on that corner were either jail or something. So I can say that.
Yeah, that's, hey man,
Yeah.
It's so funny. Your parents know.
They
you
be
know what I'm
knowing.
saying? They know.
Yeah, they know.
So, once again, man, it's a blessing to have parents that can foresee certain things happening, and they know better, and they don't allow you, or at least they make sure you know or understand. Hey, man, this not what we're trying to do. That's not what a Freeman,
But
under that name representing that person. Well,
And by him telling me how serious his mom was about education, now that answer my question, because all of them, all of them, Tammy, Renee, Tony, Nikki, all of them made good grades.
yeah, you're right.
All
I
of
was about
them.
to say the same thing.
I'm saying all of them, man. So,
Shoot, go beyond that. I mean, I think, man, if you look at you guys' family tree, y'all have a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are really, really bright people and doing some great things in your family.
Yeah, man.
So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
No surprise, man. No surprise. I mean, when we was in high school, Floyd always was the one that got his work. We probably didn't. I might have said hung around Florida a little bit more. I probably went to South Florida. But Floyd, man, his sisters, they always made good grades as far as I know.
Right.
A bad grade to them was a B. You feel me?
I feel you.
And just by him telling me how his mom was, now that make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Whole lot of sense, man. And for him to grow up in the house with all those sisters, and the mom had to work the way she worked, dad was working hard, whatever, and his mom come home and say, "Hey, man, I don't want you hanging out there."
Yeah.
In other words, you can hang out there, but you need to be doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging out there ain't doing nothing, gonna lead to something wrong.
Yeah.
She already seen that.
Yeah.
She already seen that. And
Absolutely.
our moms told us that too. So we had the same format, but just in different households.
Right.
Yeah. My mom just tell me, I don't want you at the 801.
Yeah.
I don't want you at the Blue Moon. My mom just tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 54 years old, Florida. I ain't never been inside 801 yet.
Yeah.
Not saying 801 bad,
But it's just,
but that's what my mom.
instilled in.
Yeah, that's what she still, yeah.
So what would you say? I mean, so you entered to USF, you majored in what was it again?
Electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering. That's just not.
Hey, real. Hey, real. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Man, you
I ain't
thinking the
scared to
same
say
thing.
it,
Man,
man.
you think the same
I ain't scared to say it, boy. It was nobody I ran with talking about being no kind of engineer in nothing. You hear me, real?
Yeah.
So I understand how you couldn't get that word out. Boy, I can't even spell electrical engineering.
Boy,
But I will say,
that one mine.
Flo, okay, Flo,
so I can tell
okay.
you,
How you, okay, hold up, Flo, hold up, man. Hold up, man, wait, man.
Green got to get comfortable.
This our damn podcast, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But we can just do, Flo, listen, Flo. When did you put in your mind that you want to be an engineer? Because I ain't hear nobody at Southeast saying something about some engineering.
and
When did that come in your...
I was just about to say that. So for me was I'm gonna go back to Miss Mills at Manatee Elementary. Okay, just instilling things, you know, and you pretty smart, you know. So I guess I am, right? Then went to Bradenton Middle, right?
Okay.
And, it was pretty okay with grades and everything. And then Miss Lang, 8th grade. So I was in pre-algebra, but we clowning. So I'm just clowning with the other kids and everything. And then she pulled me to the side and said, you look different. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, interesting. Mm-hmm. So then I go to Southeast, Miss Harris. I think it was Miss Harris. Yeah, I think she's a math teacher, if I'm saying that right.
What math class?
That was algebra.
Oh, I won't know her.
Wait a minute, Green, you would know her.
So
Green stupid, man.
I wouldn't know her.
So I ended up taking algebra my freshman year. Trying to think. Then I hit how that went. So I took geometry, I want to say my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, man, geometry is hard and all this proofs and all this stuff. But that's when the light bulb hit me. It was like, y'all can't see this?
Right.
Like, it was just like, I never studied. It was like, it was just so logical to me. Like,
Right.
Just
Right.
makes sense. So
Right.
I was getting hundreds, right?
In geometry?
Yeah, and I had Miss Harris for geometry as well. And she said, Floyd, listen, I need you. So the following year, since I needed you to take Algebra 2, because that's now I'm going into my junior year. Mm-hmm. She said, I need you to take Algebra 2 and trigonometry next year.
The same year.
Same year. And you only need 3 maths.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know about all that. She said, because I need you to have calculus your senior year. Right? Because she said, you got it. You got it. And I'm like, oh. So that's where it hit me like,
Okay.
this is pretty, and then I think math didn't get too challenging until I got in calculus. So at that point, I'm with kids that are like, them kids that you don't see all the time. I'm with top.
Yeah.
That's
kid.
when I got to know like the certain kids in the school. Like, oh, that's a different thing going on over here.
Yeah.
right? But I would hang out too. But I'm like, so I was always the one like in them classes.
Yeah,
But nobody knew I was.
nobody knew that. You sneak off some type of way, go down the wrong way.
Hey, that's another. Let me go over here and holler at this girl.
Right. And I was in computer classes, programming, and at Southeast back then, right?
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you need to be doing this, be doing that. So the other thing that I would say, so my dad was a construction guy, right? So he do carpentry, just anything with a house. And again, he would take me out. Hey, I'm gonna show you how to lay blocks. So I'm a kid, and I remember saying, Dad, I want to be like you and lay blocks. So everybody like, I'm gonna be like my daddy. Mm-hmm. And my dad is like, no, son, you don't want to physically lay no blocks. He would say, you want to point. So that's his mindset. Like, 'cause he was a laborer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he said, you want to be the guy that point. Mm-hmm. And he always said that you need to point.
Yeah.
So he said, you architect, whatever it was, right? So that's where I said, oh, okay, I could probably, I want to point.
Yeah.
Right? I want to
Yeah.
be the one to design this and do this and then have other people do. He said, you don't want to do this. Right? So that's how that.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
But Tammy was smart. Renee, they older than you. I'm saying, did they help you with homework? Because they were smart too. Did you look up to them? I mean, they was probably doing calculus and trigonometry and all that, wasn't it?
That I just remember us being around the table doing homework. It wasn't. I don't know if it was help per se. I will say once I got to USF, my sister Renee Tracy was at USF. And so that was kind of she was already there, so it's like, all right, my sister there, so we had an apartment together. Well, I was in her apartment, so she was already up there.
Yeah.
So at that point, she was very instrumental. All right, let me show you how to do, this and this and this in terms of study habits and all that stuff.
I remember I used to go to their house, right? I used to go there all the time. And Mr. Freeman, he knew I played ball. Mr. Dream and his mom knew I played ball. And the question is going to come up. How's your grades, T. Green? Mr. Freeman, he's sitting in that little room, watch TV, going to have football on now. He's going to be in that little TV room right there.
Yeah.
Green, how your grades doing? I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Embarrassed to say what my grades were, because I know what their grades is in that house.
Right.
So so your dad, where y'all get y'all somebody had a brain in that house to pull down into y'all.
So it comes from, I would say both sides.
Yeah.
I would say my, as far as academics, my work ethic and smarts come from my mom, but she just she just wouldn't play.
Yeah.
My dad, a lot of that engineering comes from that side. My uncle Alvo, who passed away, he went to USF.
Oh, okay.
And he graduated like Magnum, one of them summa cum laudes or something like that, right? And a lot of people around in Palmetto would, back in the day, you see Alvo, he looked like, he looked like he was a bum on the street, right? And one day, and some people are almost genius, but
Something weird, yeah.
Yeah. And so one day he was like, "Oh, I see you, nephew, you up to USF." And he started rattling off stuff like, "Yeah, I was doing this and that and engineering," and I'm like, because at first I'm like, he wasn't all that.
Yeah.
He was.
He was.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he remembered everything. So that was, I think, where that kind of come from. But when you see him, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. So you end up, what year you graduated USF?
So I graduated in 96.
You graduated in 96 from USF. And then you end up getting married. When did you get married? A little bit after that?
A little bit after that.
Okay. So, and this is where I'm going with this, because eventually you had your own son. And, Tyson is, once again, Tyson's a very bright young man. He's a very bright young man. But even with him being bright, that could have went left had it not been for what was going on in the house, right? So how did you know, your upbringing, how did you transfer that over to now you having your own son and what you felt was important?
So I would say combination. So in this case, I did have my son in sports, right? But I also was very, me and my wife was very tough on him. So we used those same principles that my mom used, like don't be hanging on the corner. So we just, since he can remember, he never had. I would say out of every summer, he only really had 2 weeks off every summer. So and for him it was just like, okay, it's normal. Mm-hmm. Hey, you doing this, you doing that, you in camp, you this, you do, you just all just the piano, this. So he's just like, all right, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. And through sports, I was able to show him collaboration, teamwork, hard work, these type of things, right? And then as he got older, we put him in a USF camp, right? Mm-hmm. An engineering camp. Mm-hmm. And so, and by that time he was pretty good. And let me back up a little bit. So I want to say I sat down every day, and help him with his homework. Mm-hmm. And then it got to a point where I want to say around 6th grade, 7th grade, he just said, Dad, I don't need your help no more. So okay, he said, I got this. Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. And then so after that point, I said, all right, if you get straight A, that's $100. Mm-hmm. Every time. Mm-hmm. So when I tell you just straight A's, boom, $100, $100, all through middle school. Just nothing, you like just. Mm-hmm. So then, probably I'll say his 8th grade year, he said, Dad, I don't need it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get it to you. I told you you get it. He said, why would you pay me for something I'm supposed to do? Mm-hmm.
He told you that in 8th grade?
Yeah. So I'm like,
boy, that's special.
Cool. So then in high school, he just going, doing this thing, all still playing sports, still academically. And he was at Armwood, so he found himself like, it's kind of like I was a little bit, but he over here, he's still cool, but he he over there. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Them kids, right?
Yeah.
And then at USF, he was at some engineering camp, doing rockets. There was all kind of stuff was going on there. And then he ended up graduating, I want to say 3 or 4 in his class at Armwood.
That's awesome.
He had 400 hours of community service.
Wow.
My goodness.
400 hours.
That's big time, man.
That's where he, so once I would say through all that, keeping him busy, he was just like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm supposed to do. And that was it.
Dang, Floyd, so what made you feel like you had to give him $100 to make straight A's? Cause how we came up, our parents ain't paying us to do something that they think we supposed to be already doing. Like your son say, Dad, why were you paying me for something I'm supposed to be doing? Where that came from? Cause boy, I know good and well, Miss Freeman and Mr. Freeman ain't give y'all no.
No.
You know good and well.
We didn't know enough money.
Yeah. So what made you feel like I'm gonna give my son $100 to make straight A's? Because we didn't come up like that.
It was more earning. Like for me, it was like, all right, you have to like. It was work to it. Like I need. So I didn't just go, here's $100.
Yeah.
For this 100, you have to be consistent with your homework. This, and this.
Yeah.
It was funny when he was in, I would say 7th grade or so. The kids would go to school. They have the flip flop. I'm doing this, and so I said, hey, son, we don't do that. I said, you going to work. I said, man, Dad, you always been tough on me. No, you going to work. I said, I don't care about them. Right. I don't care about what they do.
Right.
You're going to work. Right. And I remember one day he was like trying to wear some flip flop, whatever he's doing. So I make him kind of not dress up, but just make sure he's good, looking professional. And but he had a little bag with him. So I'm like, okay, I see what's getting ready to happen. So I'm getting ready to go to work. So I drop them all. So I double back on them.
Oh shoot!
So I went to the office. I said, hey, can you go get Tyson Freeman for me? I said, don't tell him who it is. And she said, okay. So they, announced Tyson Freeman, please report to the office. Here he go walking in the hallway with the stuff on I told him not to have on. So I said, huh, and just walked off. And he got,
That's the worst.
But that was equivalent to what your mom did to you. That point.
Yep.
That finger.
Yep.
see how it's coming
Yep.
around.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
he just
Sounds
applying
like cool.
what
Yeah.
was, and
Yep.
good observation. It was just applying what was applied to me. And then that was it.
Wow.
Because school is a job.
Yeah.
It's done.
That was our job. Because you remember, you can hear your parents saying back in the days, the only thing you have to do, your job is to go to
Is
school.
to go to school.
Yeah.
My mom used to say it all the time. Everybody, yeah.
Maybe we
So-
should change the wording on that though.
So what?
What?
To saying just go to school, because anybody can just go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and apply yourself.
Dang, Floyd, that's good, man. I mean, it's just, like I say, man, with this podcast, I say it every show. I love what we do with this podcast. To bring people like you on our podcast to tell your story. Because you right here in the backyard with us. Man, you ain't know about a football team. You ain't know about a basketball team. You ain't no entertainer. You know, regular old guy that use education to be successful. We see it all the time. The percentage of you being an athlete, a professional athlete, is what? About 1 or 2%? Man, you have a better chance to be successful reading a book, being educated,
And
making
I'll tell
good grades,
and I'll tell
making
you
school
one
a
thing
job.
that what my son did too was I'm gonna call it a command decision, right? So I'm also pushing him in sports, and it was not that he was gonna be LeBron James or somebody. It was just more about all right, discipline, this and this and this, right? So he came to me and said, Dad, I don't mind playing it, but I know I'm not gonna get no scholarship to no big time school where I'm trying to go. I might get a little D3, whatever, little something, but that's not gonna do anything for me.
Wow.
So I'm not worried about that.
Right.
And he started crying. Oh, I know you're gonna be disappointed in me. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? You're good.
Right.
Perfectly fine.
Right.
I said, that's the best. I'm glad you had the level of maturity to know what you're trying to do in life and stand up to me and say, man, I'm not doing no D3. I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this. So what's the point of me trying to go down that path?
Right.
When that path is not going to get me to where I know I can really be. So yeah, there's a lot of kids out there. There's different, there's different paths, right, to success. And then for me, I'm a very competitive person like that, right? Like I might look at someone like, oh man, this person went to, NBA, NFL. In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna beat them in life.
Right.
In the long run.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat 'em.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just a internal competitive way.
You know what? You're not the first person I hear. Matter of fact, it's so funny. I was talking to this guy today, Alex, one of our guests from past. And Alex actually, when Tyson went off to the University of Florida, I think Alex was there a little bit, and I actually, met Tyson. Because Tyson went into engineering. What engineering did he go?
So he did. He went to computer engineering. He
Computer
started
engineering.
off electrical, and then he switched.
To computer. But Alex was sharing with me like, nah, real man, I'm pissed off at a lot of reasons. We was talking about him being a UF and him being a walk-on, but he was just saying that, hey, bro, I just got this chip on my shoulder. I'm gonna beat him in the long run, just like what you're saying. So. And it's so funny, though, Floyd, because a lot of things I see in Alex, I see in you. So at some point, you decide to form this company. How did that get started?
So when I graduated, I talked about all the little small entrepreneurial things as a kid. So when I graduated, I got a job at GTE, which is like before Verizon, right? And I got a job selling cell phones, which is and I was balling too, because I had a cell phone back when people didn't have cell phone. I just had it for free.
Yeah.
Because of my job. So I kind of went in because one of my friends said, hey man, just sell cell phones, man. You can do part-time, whatever, and you make you about 35 a year. So I'm in college selling cell phones. I'm making money. Like, I'm making some
money. Yeah.
So then I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
And so then I started asking around, like, hey, you guys have an engineering department? Because I'm in engineering. Oh, yeah, we got this. So I ended up getting into telecommunication.
Gotcha.
So I worked for Verizon, Nextel, Sprint. And there was a point where I ended up working for a company, Ericsson, which is the largest company. And then they laid me off, right? So I'm sitting there like, and by that time I'm kind of pretty far in my career. So it just hit me. I'm like, man, I can't keep in this roller coaster corporate America. And so I work after that. I worked for a couple integrator companies like Cablelytics, and they promised me. So by this time I'm in my craft, right? So I know I'm developing their departments for them, and of course, I'll say it like this: they tell you you're included, but you're not. You know what they is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm developing these departments for these people, and oh yeah, man, as soon as you do that, this gonna happen. Then I do it. I call it executive amnesia. Oh, well, we didn't say that. So this happened to me 3 times. So the third time, I had a company car. I'm thinking. Matter of fact, I was working. Well, I ain't gonna say the company name, but I was working in Sarasota. I had a nice company car, nice office. The previous company had me. We were in Tampa. Nice office, corner office, overlooking the bay. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, this is it. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Then they just setting you up, right? In my mind. So then anyway, get laid off for the last time, and I just went back to. So I have a great uncle, Clarence Love. A lot of people probably know around. So I'm just talking to him, and a lot of times when people have money like that, they think you just, he trying to come in and beg for money. So I didn't want that. I just wanted to have, because I knew he was an entrepreneur at a high level. So I went and asked him. I said, Uncle, what would be your biggest, what would be your biggest advice to me, right? He said, stick to what you know. He said, if you know something, stick to it. Stick to it long enough, you're going to be successful. That was it. So I'm like, So I thought about it. I said, well, what do I know? I'm just going back to, I'm going to the basics.
Yeah.
What do I know? So I said, well, my dad taught me how to have a lawn business. So I went from getting laid off to starting a lawn business. Matter of fact, I kind of started a lawn business prior to being laid off. So I had a little, doing it on the side a little bit. And so I get home after getting laid off. And it was a turning point for me. So I get home, and my wife was working from home at the time. And she said, why you here like 2 o'clock? What happened? I said, they laid me off. She on her computer, she goes, oh, okay. Didn't say nothing. Wow. So 15 minutes later, she said, where you going? I said, I'm going to put some flyers out for my lawn business. She said, oh, okay. Because I'm thinking she's going to be like, oh my God, wow. So I'm like, okay. So I get outside, I'm like, wow. So I started the lawn business. So what I vowed to myself was, no more corporate America. I want to make enough money in the lawn business, cover the bills. Tyson was still in school, high school.
Yeah. So
I said, I need to make enough money just to cover the bills so I can keep my family good.
Yeah.
So then I did that. That was 2009, and then kind of worked that for 11 years. So in between that, I started Cablelytics 2015. So then I'm doing the lawn. I'm doing something. When I tell you, I landed a contract with some rental company. I'm working 7 days a week. When I say sun up to sundown, like 7 days a week.
By yourself?
Yeah. I had times where I cut 20 yards in a day by myself.
By yourself?
Yeah.
And so, but I was on a mission.
Yeah.
And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, get a couple jobs here and there. And then, so I got Cablelytics, and then I'm trying to hustle, Ended up getting a small job in was it Doral, Miami, like maybe a couple, whatever it was. It wasn't nothing big. So then the Cablelytics stuff started to, and then I couldn't do both. I'm like, something got to give.
Something got to give, yeah.
So so in the middle of and my lawn company is called Turf King. So what I did was I did a doing business as Cablelytics, so I can show the revenue.
Okay. All right.
Of the lawn, but then it started looking like it's Cablelytics.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So they're like, what you know, I got some revenue, but it was
Yeah.
yards, but it's Cablelytics money now.
Gotcha.
Because I'm thinking banks. I'm thinking, okay, I got to show something.
Yeah.
Right? So then I just kind of transitioned, and then in was it 2019 or 2019 is when I stopped doing Turf King. And the reason I went that far in doing that is because my first customer with Turf King was Mr. Cunningham. He's an older white gentleman. And I said I would give him, at the time, probably 80-something years old.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I come around, he be on the porch, and then his wife be like, leave Floyd alone. Leave him alone. So, no, he good, because I was always a person that I'm like to observe and hear what you got to say.
Yeah.
So we sit out there for 30 minutes, hey, and he said, all right, Floyd, I'll leave you alone. So he didn't realize he was my first customer. Mm-hmm. So then as time went on, as I'm doing Cablelytics, I wind it down, but I kept maybe 5 customers.
Gotcha.
It's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Go out. And then I end up, if I lost a customer, I just left, whatever. And I end up with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I end up with 2. And then it's like, all right, I had 1. Right? And it was Mr. Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so then it's a little sappy story, but I said, I'm going to go till he go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pulled up to his yard, and I'm looking, and he didn't come outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then Mildred, his wife, was like, hey, Floyd. He said, the old geezer's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry to hear that. She said, no, he loves you, Floyd. And she wrote me a check. I won't say how much. It wasn't. It was enough to be like, wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. So then I said, that's it. So the lawn equipment, and then here we go today.
Here we go. Wow. That's a fascinating story.
Yeah, boy, yeah, man. What do you say, Mr. Cunningham?
Mr. Cunningham.
Mr. Cunningham, man. That's.
And one thing I would say, a lot of times people, and don't get me wrong, we definitely have a lot of racism and racial tension and all this stuff.
Yep.
But one thing I've learned in that those examples is that it's there, it's always going to be there, but it's also your attitude. How you view it, you know what I mean? Like if you they're not gonna let us do nothing. You know what? You're right. They're not gonna let you do anything. Mm-hmm. They're not. Mm-hmm. You know, like they say, they're not coming. They're not coming.
They're not coming. Yeah. You're
So I just got to a point I'm like, they're not gonna do it. So you think about all those companies that I set up and started. They not gonna. It ain't happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. They can be racist. They can be what they want to be. Again, I'm competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to show them.
Yeah.
Watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
So so you are a CEO. You have people that depend on you too, for money coming into the company that ultimately goes in their household. How has that been in that role as the founder of the company, and the pressures it takes for not only your family, but also the families of other people that you respect in a way that's going to ultimately help everybody?
I'll tell you, first it's rewarding, but it's a major deal. To your point, right? So my first employee, I reduced my salary because I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, I was just like, man, I'm gonna hire this guy and he's gonna be relying on me, and I don't know. I'm thinking I may not make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because it's I won't sugarcoat it. It's rough, to stand up a company, right? So I just I reduced my salary a little bit. Had a couple of things I worked out at the time that put me in a position where I didn't really need to make a lot of money to make sure he got paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just set up, I was through business learning how to create culture, just like with sports. You have to have a culture. You have to have these things. And then you hire another person. And then I would say, so with 2024, the last time I really physically stepped foot on one of my projects was, well, when I say step foot, when I really physically worked the project was 2019. And then we did Raymond James Stadium for the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And that was obviously a hot deadline to get it done for the Super Bowl. And I probably stepped foot out there for 10 hours. But I had a crew going, right?
Wow.
Right now we're doing jobs right now. I got a crew up in the Superdome, right, in New Orleans. Right, we're getting ready to start the Smoothie King arena in New Orleans. We did the Alabama Stadium, and not all of it, but pieces of it. We're out. We got a contract with USF. Those type of things. So it is. But to your point, it's scary, and sometimes it's still scary. A lot of people think it's like, man, you're doing all this, but it's one thing. And I always tell people this, like, you said, man, I can't wait to Friday to get paid. I was like, I can't stand Friday. It's a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference. I mean? Wow. Yeah.
Right. But I will tell you this: I treat it like I am now an employee of my company, so I get paid on Friday too.
Okay.
My company pays me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So Flo, okay, for the people who listening, okay, what do you do? I mean, like Cablelytics. I mean, what is? I mean, I heard you say you got the Superdome, you got Smoothie King and South Florida.
So
I mean, what?
We install. It's called DAS, Distributed Antenna Systems. It's like a cell site in a building, right? So we install stuff like that. Wi-Fi, we do that sometimes. It's all commercial. I get people say, "Hey, you gonna do it for the house?" No, we don't do it. No. But yeah, we pull cable, and then good segue to that. So the reason I named the company Cablelytics, see, I thought about it. Everybody can pull cable. There's a lot of people out there, I pull cable, I do this. I said, well, I'm smart. So I said, cable, so it's a play on analytics.
Yeah, okay.
Cablelytics. So my team knows. They say, man, what's different about us? It's the lytics.
It's the lytics.
So we have that saying, but yeah, that's
love
what we
it.
do. So we install these in hotels, venues. I'll give you an example, or I could say it this way: like, you ever go into Walmart somewhere and you're on the phone, like, yeah, it's good, and you get to the back of the store,
and your call drops.
Yeah.
it don't work. Let me call you back. We put systems in like that, so then it's seamless.
It's seamless.
Go in, go out,
Okay.
back. Now it's stadium, it's data, right? Hey man, you looking, you screaming, the game while you're at the game, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So that's what we do.
That's crazy, man.
That's awesome,
So
man.
hey, they out there playing football, have football game, the Saints playing at the Superdome, but they don't know. They don't know if you be on that damn cell phone.
Yeah.
Cablelytics in the app.
Lytic. Yeah.
What I said? I said it wrong?
Lytics.
Cablelytics. I told you, man, damn, I went Air Waters. But anyway, hey, Air Waters, I love y'all, man. I just throwed it out there, trying to be a jokester. But anyway, but so Floyd, listen. I think one time me and you was talking, you were saying your company also is at the Seminole Hard Rock, right?
Yeah, we did the Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. So we installed a system there for all the carriers, and we did the new hotel, the old hotel, and it was during their renovation when they renovated the whole casino. So we were in there, That was what we call a full turnkey system. So we, start to finish, we
Did the whole thing.
everything.
I mean, that's crazy, man. Hey, Floyd just talking like it ain't nothing, man.
Well,
just like,
Well, what's so
Like it
impressive
ain't-
to me, and I got to go back to when your dad was telling you, "Hey, man, you don't want to lay the bricks. You want to be the one pointing." So, once again, that's why I'm like, man, your dad threw out some nuggets, man. And now you're not laying or pulling the cables per se, but you definitely can point the finger.
And then I took it a step further and not pointing per se, but leading.
Yeah,
There's one thing, I go do this, but
Yeah.
in leading,
yeah,
I'll focus on, building the culture. We have something like called Cablelytics 360. So I'm big on keep things simple and routine for people, right? Because a lot of times you can sit here, and that's a big transition for a lot of people who are entrepreneurs that are, self-employed, single person entities, or mom and pop, right? It's hard that's a tough transition to make, because if you're good at something, you go, I'll just do it myself. But to be able to relinquish that, something you know how to do, and do it really well. Like I can tell you, we've consulted for universities. I just had an interview at USF. I probably shouldn't say much about that, but it's fine. So it's still in the works. But I can drop myself because I stuck to what I know. You drop me anywhere, just like that. I know exactly what. To a point where when I was working for these other companies, I would sit there, and when you talk about being in a room of people who aren't like us, they not like us, right? And just observing and going, man, I could do this. And I'm like, to a point I'm getting mad. I'm not like, man, this is stupid.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, and then being able to then transition and build a culture where people move and do, right? One of the biggest points I had, where when you have a team that you're working directly with, the first thing they don't do is, I could be like Floyd, he ain't doing nothing, right? I used to have people like, literally, you talked about earlier, paying somebody's salary, and as hard as I'm working to make sure your salary paid, and you telling me I ain't doing nothing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So moving from that to, I had my cousin who is like a consultant, and she's a CEO coach. She said, you have to separate yourself a little bit from, and it seems, for me, coming from Brady, I'm like, I'm separating myself. That's stupid, right? But it's true, right? So what she did is, like, all these concepts I tell you about, like Cablelytics 360, the culture, we create a video. She said, so instead of you doing the orientation, they're going to watch you on the screen. So anybody come in, they'll see you. And that was a game changer. Why? Because then when they see me, oh, hey, Mr. Freeman. So now I've gone an automatic respect level to where now they're not, oh, he ain't doing nothing.
So common.
That's the boss, that's CEO.
Right.
yeah.
And then now I can relax and still be me,
Yeah.
and then move the company forward in
Wow.
culture. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Dang,
Just
boy.
something that simple.
And I always think about it like this: like, you would never disrespect. Well, I take that back. I would say you would never disrespect the office of the president of the United States. But even if you don't like the person, you're going to respect. You should at least
Correct.
respect that office, right? So it's not that you're being cocky or anything like that. It's just more like I got to a point in my career and learning, and then being around people who are doing things that I want to do. It's like, okay, I've got to get to that level, and you have to have respect for me in my own company, in which I work hard to make sure you're getting paid.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dang, for that boy, golly. I mean, just when I heard Reggie say CEO, you know, when you're coming up, how we came up, you just don't visualize yourself being a CEO, especially of a major company, because we didn't see people of our color that were CEOs coming up. I don't know. You seen somebody that was a CEO?
And I'll tell you, not to cut you, I'll tell you one thing that kind of, when you were saying that. So when I, to your point, so when I first started Cablelytics, I would get in a room and say, hey, I want to be involved in this project or that project. I never called myself CEO. Because you got to be realistic. We just talked about racism, this, so people have a certain vision of what they think it is. And then I didn't want to it's easy to start a company. I'm a CEO.
Right.
But a true CEO, I'm like, I'm not even a true CEO yet. So I promoted myself in my own business. Right? So started off project manager. And then, hey, what did you do? I'm the project manager at Cablelytics. Okay. Then when it came time, I promoted myself to director. And as you move up the chain, it's a weird concept. I know it's kind of like, but as I move myself up the chain in my own company, then what triggered me to do that was people go, hey, yeah, I need to talk to your VP. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I got to be VP. And then I kind of moved up. Then I said, okay, that means I need a project manager. And then so the progression is it's moving forward. If you're gonna to lead people, you always want to answer the question. Everybody want to know what's in it for me. Right? Think about it. You're not doing something unless there's something in it for you. So one of the main jobs of a leader is to answer that question for people. What's in it for me? How am I going to feed my family? How this is going to happen? And so it's like being on the bleeding edge, right? You think about like a knife and you're cutting a fabric, right? Well, what's being hurt the most is the knife, right? That's the hardest thing to do. Leadership is hard, right? So imagine you cutting this fabric, and what's happening behind that fabric? But guess what? Opportunity is behind us. Right? So you got to create that opportunity. But the person who's in the front is taking a lot of hits, getting dull. You got to reshop it again. And I always tell people like, and I learned this in my company. I'm like, I'm training all these people, I'm doing all this stuff, and that's why I have a coach now. I'm like, who the hell training me? You know, I gotta get trained on this. So when you come from MOK, East Bradenton, across the street from Avondale, right, down the street from Piggly Wiggly.
Boy, there it is now.
Who taught me?
Correct.
You don't have those. Not all the time, right? You don't have those type of vision that you can look to. So for me, what drives me is learning how to do that and then being around the people who are doing that. I have a good friend. He was the CEO of Butler International, and I can say his name, Ed Kopko. So I could call him, you know, and we just talk. I don't need no money from it. I just want to be around you. So this guy, he and the way I met him was he looked me up, and so matter of fact, he this is how old school he is. He's like my secretary. So anyway, so this lady calls me. Hey, Ed wants to meet you. I'm like, Ed, who's Ed? Ed Kopko, blah blah blah. So I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So he said, all right, meet him at the International Mall at Brio. That's his favorite spot. What time you got available? I'm like, all right, Thursday, whatever time. Sure. So she called me 2 weeks ahead. Hey, just want to make sure you're still going to be there. Thursday at such and such. Yeah, I'll be there. Next week. Hey, Floyd, just make sure you.
Yeah.
I got it on the calendar. The third day. Hey, you going to be there? I'm like, okay, this might be a big deal. She called me every single day. She called me 8 in the morning. I need to make sure you're going to be there.
Wow.
My goodness.
I go, I need to be here, which I was gonna be there anyway.
Yeah.
So I go there early. I'm like, let me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Man, this dude walked in just as genuine. Like, he said, "Hey, man, I just been watching you." And I go, "Huh? You watching me?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to hear your story." All right. So we just chopping up. He's like, "Yeah, man, I just like to see that kind of stuff." He's writing a book and all this different stuff. And to this day, I call him, "Hey, Ed, what you think about such and such?" "Oh, yeah, man, we did this and this and this." And he one of them. I'll say it like that. So it ain't all, we got it out there. And, we definitely have some racist people out there. But people ain't all bad, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's all in your, it's part attitude, it's part being aware. Because there's some, I got a bunch of other stories I could tell you of some definitely racist type of people that I ran into that have got me kicked off projects. I got one, we did the Orange County Convention Center. It is what it is. Truth be told, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, boy.
I'll say it like this. They moved me out of the way and put a person that I hired in my place. They all of the other.
Yeah.
So I made sure I got paid, right? And then I washed my hands of it. I'm going to say 6 months later, "Hey, Floyd, we need your help. We got a question for you." There's no more questions. We are done, right? So they called me back to back. "Hey, we got a question. We don't really know this." Well, I'm the one that got kicked off. So I think I'm the one that's didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
So the answer is no.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just things that drive me. So I'm like, all right, you'll see me again. Trust
Wow.
me.
Man, that's crazy, boy.
Floyd, you ain't want them to have to shoot. Hey, you want me back? Now you gonna have to pay me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But they hired, but they picked the person you
I
hired.
hired. So if we're that bad, so think about it. I just told you about leadership.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I'm putting a team together and we're doing something at a high level at a large convention center, well, who's bad?
Yeah.
I can't be bad if that's who I hired. And they turn around saying that y'all doing a good job.
Huh?
How is that possible? And I'm the one that. So what do you call that?
Golly,
man.
man.
Right?
Well, that stuff never seems to go away. I mean, in Green,
It's crazy, man.
it doesn't surprise me, right? It doesn't surprise me that it happens. It's just sad that it's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
And how you. So it's one of them situations on how do you handle it when it does come up, right? That's going to make a difference could possibly hurt your company or propel your company,
It's all an attitude, and for me, it's also important for me for people to see me. It makes sense. Like people need examples. I need them. We all need them. There's a saying, show me your 5 closest people, and I'll show you your future.
Yep.
So so you can't help everybody, but people need examples, and everybody. If you think about as we're leading children and people or whoever, we all have to be a part of that movement, and people need examples, right?
Right.
So I just want to be an example to people, and then I need examples. That's why I mentioned Ed and people like that.
That's awesome. We're going to wrap this thing up, but let me ask you this real quick. What's one major project that you want to work on? You have anything that you want to work on?
I want access to that stadium, USF.
USF Stadium.
Yeah, I want. I've been working on that for, and I believe in speaking things into, right? So, alumni of USF, engineering, right? Plenty of references and experience to operate at a high level to install these type of systems at that kind of stadium.
Yeah,
I say it like that.
I need that.
That's the new stadium they coming out with. That's in 2027, ain't it?
We need that.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he gonna get it.
I think Ernie working on that too, right?
Yes. I'll shout out Ducon.
Yeah.
Ernie is this is so Ernie is one of the managing construction companies for the stadium. So we talk quite a bit.
Oh, we got to get that.
And so,
Ernie, we got to get that, Ernie.
Yes, sir.
So Ernie, part of what they do is they look at the spec or the trades and what they can manage. Mm-hmm. Something like Ernie, and it's guy Donald. I said, if you see anything that say telecom, a dash, pull it. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So those are the type of things that you wanna network at high levels. I really believe in that 5 people around you concept. Because the opposite is true for any kids and young people listening. If you're around the wrong people, the opposite can happen as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So wherever you want to be, if that's what you want to be, so look at the people around you. If that's what you want to be, you cool with that, stay there.
Right.
For me, moving on, and then I'll have people like come up to me, hey man, can we do X? Well, we can talk all day and all night, but I'm over here. If you want to come see me, you need to work and come see me.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. And I don't mind sharing nothing with you, but there's just, like we say, people say levels to it. There are really levels to it. And there's a lot of us out there that wouldn't even tell you. Like you, people don't know. Like the Coca-Cola Florida is owned by black owned, one of the largest black owned businesses in the country, right there in Tampa, Florida. Right, people don't know those type of things. So when you really start to get in and see, you're like, oh wow, we do have something out there. But a lot of times they won't. It's that room thing. It's those 5 people. They just, and it's kind of sad in a way, but I understand the reasons why. But it's all for all of us to help push people forward. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Floyd, we hit that time, man. We about to come up to a portion of the show, segment of the show, and this is called Truth and Share. This is our version of Truth and Dare. We just need you to tell the truth, though. So you're going to get a question from the 3 of us. No pressure on you.
Tell the truth.
Desiree, what we got, Desiree?
Truth and Share, brought to you by Selena G. Bradley, your trusted expert in buying, selling, and investing in real estate.
Man, y'all better go hit up Selena.
Listen. Did you see a recent post about that compound she sold for the family?
No.
Okay, 5 acres, family compound. They finna start building. Yeah, it's sold. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, y'all about to get with Selena Bradley.
Selena is playing no games.
Shoot.
Okay, now look, on that compound, like I say, y'all want a damn doghouse. She can build that too.
Yes,
She can get that for you too.
Compound. Shoot.
What?
Last I heard something about a compound,
Man.
Bin Laden was hiding in the compound.
Wait.
Did
This is for the
Selena
people.
sell that
No, this is for the people's family. It's no, we're not doing craziness.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
all
For
right,
their
all right,
family.
all right,
Okay.
all
No,
right,
come on, reel it in.
Man, Selena doing big things, man.
Big things.
All right,
yes.
well,
Yeah.
Desiree, you got a question for my boy?
I do. So while we were in the interview, I kind of did a little research on my own, because I came in kind of blind. Yeah. So I see that you're approaching 10 years next year of Cablelytics. And so my question is, what's one piece of advice you would have given yourself 10 years ago?
Probably, I think start a business. I would say probably a little work-life balance, more, taking care of yourself along the way. Right? There's a lot of, there's some lot of stresses in, I don't want to make it sound like it's easy, but I would say take care of yourself a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Green,
I'm
you want me to
last.
go?
I'm last,
Okay.
real. I'm last.
All right. Well, hey,
I'm
my
last,
question would
boy.
be this. You told us about, Mama Bear at the house, Papa Bear, right? Mama give you that finger, you know what I'm saying? What's one thing? What's one secret that your parents may not know?
That may not have taught me.
No,
No,
what they don't
may
know.
not know about you. Right?
Oh God.
Ooh, really, that's a good one. That's real. Got to be more careful. Tell the truth.
Just one. Just
secret
one.
that mine-
Can't say that. Oh, Lord.
That was a good one, but I got some.
You got them thinking
Boy,
now.
mumbling, boy.
Oh my gosh, you got them
Boy, mumbling
thinking.
up here.
Floyd, your mama looking at you crazy right now.
Yeah.
You make her think it's a lot of things.
Oh,
I just said
boy.
one thing, bro. One thing.
Them wheels
Oh,
turning.
okay, I got one.
Uh-oh.
One that he can share.
Yeah, I can share. And this would be. I used to. So my dad used to have this this jacket in his closet, and he used to keep his money in there, like little money or coins. I would kill him. Hey, back then you go to the play video games.
Yes, sir.
So at one point, he did kind of like, hey, I'm kind of getting low right now. But he never. I'm like, oh.
What was I would kill him? Oh,
Boy, you
boy.
in there playing, look at her games, track and field. Man.
With that pencil in it.
Okay, little country store.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
my God.
Oh man, real, that was a good one. Oh, that was a good one.
You made
But
him think about that one.
But listen, Floyd. You got 4 sisters, boy. You know I know all 4. Tammy, Renee, Tony, and Nikki. Okay. So
Actually, I'm gonna say this because I got in trouble. I got Marcelina.
Well, yeah.
And Minnie, but who I grew up with.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the house. Yeah.
In the house.
Yeah. I know about Marshallina. I know about all of them. Yeah. Okay. Which one get on your nerves? Which one is the nicest? Which one is the smartest?
Uh-oh.
And which one
He is
you would love to
choosing-
be? Well, which one you like to be around the most?
Oh,
Green, you
Lord.
choosing violence. You
Yeah, because
choosing
I know the
violence.
family. I know the family.
Oh, he choosing
So, okay, I'm
violence.
gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again.
Hey,
Truth be told.
For all his sisters
You got
right
4
now, y'all can
sisters that's
turn
in the
off,
house.
so
I
you
know
don't
about
have
all
to hear
the
this.
4 in the house. Tammy, Renee, Tony, and Nikki. Which one of them
Okay.
get on your nerves? Which one of them the smartest?
All of them really don't, but I would say if I had to pick,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
no, it's Troof Be Told. Okay, the nicest is easy. That'll be Renee.
Renee.
Okay.
That's easy, yeah. That's easy.
On my nerves, I'm gonna have to go with Nikki. Only reason, because especially when we get going,
Yeah.
it's like and yeah.
Okay.
Nikki. Matter of fact, now I think about it, when we were growing up, when I got the role of being in charge,
Yeah.
she was.
She ain't
She
having it. She ain't having it. She ain't having it. Yeah.
What was the
Okay.
other part?
The smartest.
Smartest.
Tammy
It's a toss-up
and
with
Tony. Tammy and Tony
Yeah,
left.
that's a toss up there.
Wait, what's the other one? So you
What's
know.
the other? Yeah. What's the other?
But which one you like to be around the most?
Okay.
Okay, that helps.
Even with the smartest, you can give it can
Okay,
be a
so I
tie,
would
it can be a
say
draw.
They're both smart. All of them sisters smart, but I would say me and Tony probably are the most like each other. Like just we can have conversation. We be like all over, like not all over the place, but we
Yeah.
you got it. Okay,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would say that for that reason, and then Tammy the smartest.
Smartest. Okay.
All right. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
man.
So we got.
I know the family now. I know
Nick,
'em.
yeah, just recap. Just to throw it in face. You know what I'm saying? Nikki was the.
Nikki was
I
the-
couldn't get. I can't stand up. Nikki.
Wait, is that what it
No,
was? Or
no,
get on his
no
nerves?
one.
He said get on the nerves.
Same
Don't,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's
Same
not.
thing.
Look
Hey,
at you.
she don't.
Hey,
It's
Green, what
only
you
when-
say this out my darn way? You know what I'm saying?
I ain't say darn. You gotta say damn. My damn way.
She gonna be like, no. So here's what's gonna happen. She gonna be like,
Look,
you got what you mean? I gotta get this in there. So, sorry, sorry, sister.
Yeah.
But I had to pick something.
Pick something. Don't hold it against them.
so.
Don't hold it against them.
All right, well, man, that's awesome, man. Had a
That was
great
good,
time with
man.
you, Floyd, man.
Yes.
Hey, we finna end this thing, man. We got some shout outs. You got a shout out, Green?
Man, I do have a shout out, man. I want to shout out to Floyd, man. Floyd, man, coming up on the east side. Like I said, I know the family. To the point where they used to call me brother.
Yeah.
Tony still say it today. That's my brother. Just to see, it's just so good to see people that grew up with us that's doing positive things.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what Floyd doing is big.
Yeah.
Big, this Wi-Fi world, man. That's all we living about now. And for him to be in that world, man, that's big, Floyd. And I know, man, when you're coming up, you always want to make your mom and your dad proud. And I know, and I think you doing it still today. I think you still wake up every day want to make your mom and dad proud.
Absolutely.
And man, I just want to give a shout out to you, Floyd, man. A shout out to your mom and your dad for even bringing you here to this world, man, raising you. Your sisters, man, y'all just come from a good household.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out to you and your family.
And I'll say I would be remiss if I don't shout out my wife. We met her 8th grade. She should like me. I'm just kidding. But
Don't get in trouble now.
no, but true story. But she actually, so Tony she'll attest to this. So she was like, this girl on the corner said, give her your number. Right? And so once I met her, then I had to start chasing her anyway. But yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So we're high school sweethearts. And I would say, I told y'all the story when I got laid off.
How she treated you.
She's just like, you got it. You good. I got your back.
Yeah.
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 Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Good, man.
All right, cool. See you.
Oh, that's that's how we. That's it. And I would say shout out to the family. Like when I say Reggie, y'all family is my family. You know what I mean? And just from grandmama on down.
Yeah.
And just always made me feel like part of it. You know what I mean? So I, appreciate you guys.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. Shout out.
Boy, they're even gonna cry right now. Go ahead. Go ahead and do it.
No tears. No. Shout out to the kid, from his mama. I'm good.
Okay. All right. I didn't know. I mean, they can't see your face. You just smiling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, all right. She good. Well, let me give a shout out, man. Once again, I want to shout out Floyd. Shout out my cousins. Shout out the Freemans. Everybody over there. A special shout out to my uncle, man. It's been announced he is making it a class of 2025. They call it the. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. The Hall of Honor for Manatee High School, my Uncle Floyd.
All right.
Okay.
Daddy Floyd.
So I want to give him
Daddy
a huge
Floyd.
shout out for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So big shout out to him, man.
That's what's up.
Well deserved.
Go ahead on, Floyd, baby.
I wasn't able to see it, but I always hear about it. So big shout out to you, Big Unc. So hey man, that's another episode down. Floyd, I want to say congratulations again for everything that you have accomplished up to this point and
Yes,
will
and
accomplish.
will
Cause,
accomplish.
because we already see, boy, Ernie and
Yes,
your
sir.
boys now. Hey, when it comes down to making that decision, truth be told,
Truth be told, Ernie.
make sure we got somebody involved in that project. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Make sure we got
Yes,
somebody
sir.
involved in that project.
Yes, sir, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take a snippet and I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to send it straight to him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, once again, man, thanks to our sponsor, Selena, for sponsoring our Truth and Share. Also, thanks for everybody that's tuning in. And paying attention to what we got going on over here.
Yep.
We definitely appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. We got this big old thing that's coming up real soon, Green.
Oh, boy, February 15th, baby.
Uh-huh.
The R&B and Me Fest.
Yes.
At the 13th Ave Dream Center. That's off of Martin Luther King East.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hood say Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
Them folks say 9th Avenue.
Uh-huh.
So y'all come out, man, have a good time, man. We're gonna get
folk
down, man. Gonna be some grown folks there, man.
Yes.
It's gonna be some food there, man. Some good old music, baby. Y'all come out, man.
Yeah.
February 15th, man, 2025, baby.
Mark your calendars.
Yeah, mark it. Save the date. You know what? We gotta give a shout out to our production team too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Desiree Brewer, Robin Morrell,
Oh, that's
Wendell,
us.
Faison.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Green. So
Yeah, man.
listen, anything? You good?
All hearts and minds clear.
All right. Floyd, any last words? Are we good?
No.
You good?
Good.
Anything? Want to promote anything that may be coming up or anything?
Oh, well, just promote my company, Cablelytics. I didn't. One thing I didn't say is I've been becoming an avid fisherman or angler.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm thinking about. I've been doing some filming of my adventures.
Oh.
So probably look for a YouTube channel.
Okay. All right.
I can see that happen, Floyd. My boy like to get out on that boat now. You know what I'm saying? He like to get on that boat. You know what I'm saying? My boy took me out to what that is, Coconut Island? What that?
Beer Can Island.
Beer Can Island.
Sound like a redfish.
Like a redfish.
The redfish,
boy. Yeah.
Redfish,
A
bluefish.
redfish, baby. Y'all do catch redfish, don't?
Get out of here, man. We'll catch y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. Next episode, Troof Be
Yes,
Told.
sir, baby.
Wait,
And we out.
Truth, really that's all we know. Keep it real and authentic. This truth be told, only the truth. Tune in, cause you gotta watch. It's like you with us while we kick it in the barbershop. Here to motivate and inspire. Hosted by the real deal and the God Barber. I hope that you ready, keep it funny and edgy. Let's go. You already know. Truth be told, let's go.